On this episode of the Rock Down South podcast, I sit down with country rock artist Daniel Lee. We talk about how his music has evolved from radio country into something a little more southern rock sounding. He also jams a couple songs for us. We hope you all enjoy. Let's go. Welcome to the Rock Down South podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the show today. I'm Mark, and my friends and I created this podcast to focus exclusively on the music interviews we do. We hope you all enjoy this interview I did with country rock artist Daniel Lee. This guy has been putting out music for several years now, so he actually has a nice body of work and some really catchy songs to check out. Daniel has songs that are a little bit more on the radio rock side, and then some newer ones that are a little bit more southern rock sounding as well. Frankly, I love all of it. Daniel may come across as a rough biker type in his latest music video, but he's actually one of the nicest individuals I've had the pleasure of speaking with. I think you guys will really enjoy this conversation we had. So without further ado, here's the interview. Daniel, how you doing, man?
Doing great, brother. How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing all right. You enjoying being back in Georgia?
I am, dude. I love it here. I love home. I'm a Georgia boy, and you know how that goes. Bulldog born, bulldog bred, and when I die, be bulldog dead. You know, all that stuff.
Dude, totally. So let's kind of kick it off. You got a new music video out, Huckleberry, a new single. Tell us about it.
Man, this is going to be more of the southern rock side of anything that I've ever wrote. I wanted to do it. Even in the video, it looks like we're a bunch of mechanics in a big shop and stuff like that. But it was really fun making that video. The song itself, if we're going to talk about the song, there's that most popular line. One of my favorite movies is Tombstone. And when Doc Holliday comes up and he's like, "I'll be your Huckleberry," I was like, man, dude, that is so awesome. I don't know why that's not in the song. So I wrote one, you know?
Well, it's an awesome song. Enjoy that video. I think all of our listeners should check that out as well.
Please do.
But when it comes to you and your music, the way that I found out about you is actually saw you guys open for a band live. And was this a few years ago? You guys opened for Parma Lee at Wild Bill's back in the day.
That was several years ago, maybe 5, something like that.
It was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Dude, that was a good show.
That was a good show, man. My wife and I were there, or girlfriend at the time, were there. We were checking Parma Lee out. My wife's a big fan of them. I like them a lot. And I think like Chris Lane opened as well. But then, you know, we walk in, get a drink. Daniel Lee Band is playing, completely rocking this place out, completely going hard, you know, with your rock and roll sound, with your country sound, super rock, super country. And I was like, man, I like these guys. These guys are good. But you were bringing it, and these other guys are a little bit more on the pop side.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, and I don't have to say this about the music because a lot of people, they put me in a genre. I honestly don't like being in a genre. I think you narrow yourself down, you narrow your fan base down when you get in a genre. Dude, I like to rock. I like to sing country. I am country as cornbread. You know what I'm saying? So like the way that I write, the way that I sing it, but I've always loved rock and roll, man. And it just blends that way. So I've always said, and it's kind of like a tagline for Daniel Lee Band is we're not rock, we're not country, we're southern. And that's kind of what genre I'm put myself in at this point is southern, whatever that may be. So yeah, dude, I love hitting the stage, and I love bringing everything I got, man. You know, like I feel like if you don't make people feel what you put into the song, then what are they there to see? You know what I mean? And that's why we do that.
Completely agree. And I know you said that pretty plain and simple in your Southern Mofo song, which I recommend everybody listen to. You're kind of in that weird spot between rock and country, a little bit too country for country radio at times, but a little bit too country for rock radio sometimes as well.
Yeah, exactly. I wrote that song in like 15 minutes. Like I was just, you know, if I'm going to say something, I'm going to say it the way that I would say it. And it just come out like that. And I think that was kind of the start of me being like, as an artist at the time, being like, okay, well, I'm not gonna go for radio. The way the streaming platforms are these days, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just gonna try to be the underground king, if you will. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yeah, dude, that song just opens so many avenues for me as an artist. I feel like more so for me being okay with me doing what I do. You know what I mean? Like a more like a confidence thing with that song. It was ballsy. It's ballsy, man. I'll tell you that.
I mean, it was a ballsy, ballsy song. I remember I listened to it because I was following you, and I think it dropped a couple of years ago. And I think I listened. I was like, man, this sounds. It sounded a little bit more like the Daniel Lee that I experienced in the concerts, to tell you the truth.
Exactly, exactly. So, and that's another thing that I'm doing with the new record that we're about to put out. Like there's whenever I was in Nashville and recording in Nashville, they like to polish it up and they like to really pop it up, and that's cool. But it just not what I bring to the table. Like if you come to a show and you listen to my first record, you're gonna get a different experience. What I don't want to do anymore is let anybody down if they come to a show. So that when I record now, I make sure that it's the instruments that we're using. But granted there might be a little banjo here and a little mandolin or fiddle there, but it's you're still going to get that same listening experience. And that's what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah, man. I think I like that sound. Like you said, Southern Mofo, one of your earlier songs, Headed South, I think is a little bit more in that vein. And I think Always Moving On, I was listening to, is kind of like that. But that's not to say that you didn't have some really good, more radio sounding songs that were a little bit more polished, like Somewhere in the Woods, Hell Yeah. And even Slide has a kind of more of a pop thing to it. But those are still pretty good songs.
I mean, yeah, like I said, man, whatever way the song comes to me, it's the way it's going to come out. I can't say it enough that I really don't want to be in a genre. I don't want to. People come up and be like, "Hey, man, you're not country." I'm like, I don't care. I know I'm not country. I'm Daniel Lee, like we're the Daniel Lee band. I don't care what you label it as. Whatever you want to, whatever you're feeling that song, if it hits you the right way, why label it? Like if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? And you can come up to me and tell me, "Hey, man, I don't think you're this. I don't think you're that." I'm just going to look at you like you're stupid. I mean, I don't care. It's music, man. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
I agree. And I like all the different kind of stuff you dipped into. I was listening, you had some more bluesy kind of stuff, which was like Whiskey and Business.
Yes, yes.
And then, yeah, kind of piano ballad, which is Ricochet.
Hmm.
All of it was sounded completely different, but it was your voice. It was still good. And I liked it all.
Okay. So those couple of songs, it was me experiencing with recording, or experiencing just a new thing. Like I'd never at the time had been behind the board. You know what I mean? Like the recording side of things, and now I'm recording everything that I do and get the sound that I want to get. And I think we're getting pretty close to being pretty satisfied as what we're putting out. I mean, it's an uphill battle, man. When you really go independent all the way to the point where you're doing this, you're recording, you're writing, you're recording, composing, editing, mastering, and still sending it out to get distributed. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm doing it all, and even the music videos. I'm editing those, and I really enjoy it. It's really time consuming, but if you want something done, man, you know what they say, do it yourself. So
So, with all those different songs, do you feel like that was you maybe trying on different things, learning and kind of perfecting and finding your sound? Or do you think it's still all of you and you might, dip back into some of those areas again?
oh, absolutely, man. Every song that I write is basically on a acoustic. I mean, I consider myself more of a songwriter than I do a singer. Like it took me a long time to be able to sing the way that I want to sing and play the way that I want to play. But I mean, I was always writing stuff, even when I was a kid, you know. But everything that I put out is going to be different. I don't really want, okay, put it this way. If I want to write a country pop song right now, dude, I could write you one, but it'd be the same music with different lyrics that you hear on the radio. I mean, that's just the way that it sounds to me these days. I want to do something different. I want to give people something different. Every song that I put out, I want it to be like a different movie that you're watching. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. You have a lot of music. Scrolling through your library of music, you have quite a bit of it. Several EPs, a lot of singles. Is it one or two full-length albums that you have in the mix?
I did my first album when I was with Average Joe's. I did that was a full length. So once I was doing that, when I signed that deal at the time, the streaming stuff wasn't really going on. I mean, we're talking about 10 years ago, you know, we were still chasing radio. So we put a full length album out, did that whole deal. And then next thing you know, like a year after the album comes out, the whole game changes. It's like, wow, okay. So basically, what I went to after that is the EP. And now I'm releasing a single every month for the next couple of months. I really want people to listen to the song and get the time that it deserves instead of just putting a full length album out and just skipping through.
Oh, wow.
I really think it's we can put a song out and content out, one song a month, and then at the end of the year, you grab all that and you put it in an album. And I think that's the way that the industry is going to change and start doing that as well.
A song a month.
Yes, sir.
That's impressive. I'm looking forward to that, man.
Yep, that's why we. So January was Here on a Dirt Road. February is Huckleberry, and March might be. I don't know. I haven't picked it yet, but we still got 2 locked and loaded, and ready to go.
Well, that's awesome. I'm super excited to hear more music from you. I really think that is the way to do things, is more music. But I don't like the way that some artists, we just wait around too long to get music. And by the time it comes out, you might have a song on the album you like, and then the rest of it is, I don't know, something not
Well,
great.
I think if you really like an artist, you're gonna follow them. You know what I'm saying? But you start becoming irrelevant if you're out of sight, out of mind, kind of thing. You know what I mean? That's why I see what a lot of these people are doing, and it's just not in this country industry. It's in the rap game. It's on. I watch everything, man. I keep an eye on what's doing this, what's doing that, and I feel like people are ready to get new content. As soon as like you got 30 days to hear a song, you got something else coming out, and then you can jam and bang on that one, and then you got something else coming after that. But you just keep people on their toes, wanting to hear more, and I think that's the process that I'm trying to do right now. And I'm trying it on, man. I'm trying something new every day. So.
And we kind of touched on this earlier with the country and rock thing. Obviously, this is a Rock Down South podcast. Us and everybody who run it are, rock guys at heart. But, I love country, love Southern rock. And, it seems like there's this space between country and rock that I don't think is served extremely well by radio stations, by everything. I mean, a couple of my favorite bands, I'll give you an example, Whiskey Myers and Blackstone Cherry, and you will not hear a Whiskey Myers song on the radio or a Blackstone Cherry song, even on much rock radio or country radio, even though they've done stuff that really could be in either category.
Yeah, man, I'm totally in that same place, Yeah, I mean, what you want to know about it? I mean, I can tell you right now, like, okay, I don't know how to put it this way. I don't honestly, when I get into my car or my vehicle, whatever, I put on my phone. I really don't listen. Me personally, I'm not dissing radio or anything, but if I want to hear the same 3 songs on repeat, I'll turn the radio on. But I feel like artists these days can really, it's going back to like grassroots, and you can really obtain a fan base by just putting good music out, and people are going to listen to it. And that's why you have to go to these Spotify's or these streaming services, whatever ones you use, and you got to follow that artist because they're going to be putting music out. Like I said, man, I'm not trying to watch what I say about the radio, but like, I mean, if radio comes knocking at my door, I ain't gonna be like, no, but at the same time, I don't really see it happening. And I'm just like, okay, I'm cool with that. But there's so many avenues, man.
I mean, I completely agree with you. I think radio still has a major hold,
Mm-hmm.
and probably major labels getting stuff onto radio has a major hold on what is technically popular. But
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, we have platforms like Spotify and Apple Music and everything like that.
I think, I feel like there's so many great songs out there that get lost because they don't get the opportunity to shine. You know what I mean? And that's kind of why I'm doing the one thing a month, like one song a month kind of deal. I want these songs to be heard, and there's so many great artists. Like you even rattled off a few that I'm on the same boat that you are with that. These guys are so good, man, and there's so many more. And I think what's cool with streaming is that you start streaming something, and then another artist will pop up that you might not have even heard of before, and that might be your favorite song. Like that's what's cool about it. You don't get that from the radio. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And obviously, we're talking rock music. Let's talk a little bit more about it. Obviously, this is a Rock Down South podcast. We all listen to a wide variety of music: classic rock, heavy metal, 80s rock, modern rock. Let me ask you, Daniel Lee, what are you listening to rock-wise lately?
Rock-wise, dude, I'm Skinner through and through all the time. But I mean, got to take the needle off that record every once in a while. Dude, I've always been a rocker. One of my favorite bands was Deftones. Man, I could tell you all day long. Dude, you got me. I always hate this question, dude, because it's like what's your favorite thing? You know what I mean? Like, no, man, I don't know.
But if you're in the gym, want to get pumped up, listen to something aggressive, what's it going to be?
Aggressive right now. Black Stone Cherry, Mary Jane, is that their song?
That's a good one.
Dude, that song I don't know what it does. It just hits me, and I was just like, wow, dude, I love this song. It makes me feel good. I mean, those guys rock, man. They rock. I would love to do a show with those guys. Honestly, dude, I'm scared to say all this stuff. I'm a huge Pantera fan.
Pantera.
Yeah, dude. I mean, if we're going to do this, let's go.
Let's do it.
Pantera, Korn. I like Shinedown. I like Incubus was one of my favorite bands, and I listened to System of a Down a lot back then. I mean, I was listening to a lot of stuff, man.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. All right, man. Well, I'd love to hear you play a couple songs if you got a chance.
Sure. All right. This is from my first record. It's gonna be a little fun to play. I haven't played it in a while, so it's called Redneck Routine. There's a way around me about down in the deep south, low by the bed. A not slow living, you take what you give, you got a little hand that's your bed. We make our money, go to church on Sunday. Mama raised me right. outside of the city limits, drive around in a pickup truck. Let me tell you something, I can make you mine long and we can live a life out in the woods. Homemade honky tonk and Georgia red place, stomping honey like a sugar rain. Late night bonfires running from the blue lights, ain't no telling what's going down. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes, you wanna try it on the side of the wall, but girl, let it be. Come and sing around with me if you wanna go and see my redneck. Sit on down to the stomping ground, where the redneck girls don't have to get down. Sit moonshine, stick to beer, the little raps down here, don't leave here. It's a homemade honky tonk with the Georgia red clay, look the piss stone. Party all night till the sun comes up. Maybe get a little bit of trust, better love. Homemade honky tonk with Georgia red clay, stomping only like a sugar rain. Late night bonfire running from the blue lights, ain't no telling what's going down. Well, I can see it in your eyes, you wanna try it off the side of the wall, but girl, let it be. Come and sing around with me if you wanna go to see my redneck. Redneck routine.
Awesome, man.
I guess I can do a little, man, you know what? I'm feeling today a little Steve Earle, dude. Let's do Steve Earle. Well, my name's Johnny Petty Moore. Same as my daddy and his daddy before. You hardly ever saw granddaddy around here. He only come to town about twice a year. He buy a £100 of yeast and some copper lime. Well, everybody knew that we made moonshine. Well, the really new man on his granddaddy's back, heading up Hollywood, anything he had. Oh, my time, but I've been told he never come back from Copper Hill Road. Granddaddy ran whiskey in a big black dollar. Bought it at auction at the Mason Lodge. It Jack's a cashier painted on the side. Just shot a coat from him and he looked inside. Yeah, him and my uncle tore that engine down. I still remember that rumbling sound. The little sheriff come around in the middle of the night. Heard mom crying, something wasn't right. Headed down and knocked where we really go. You smell a whiskey burning down Copper Hill Road. Volunteered for the army on my birthday. They grabbed white trash first right here anyway. I done sent a touch of duty in Vietnam. Well, I come home with a brand new plan. I take a seat from Colombia to Mexico. I just landed in a holler down Copper Hill Road. Well, the got her in her hair. She wake up screaming like I'm back over there. But everything to China, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhill Road. Copperhill Road. Copperhill Road. Copperhill Road.
Awesome, Daniel. Thank you so much for playing some songs for us. We really enjoyed that.
No problem, man.
Yeah, man. So these next three questions are what we close with and ask everyone. So first question, what would you tell your 21-year-old self?
Oh man, oh God. I would say no matter how long or how hard things get, don't ever sell yourself short. Trust nothing you hear and half of what you see. It's gonna be crazy, but hang in there.
Good answer, man. Good answer. All right. Second question, something a little bit lighter for you.
Sure.
What are you drinking lately?
Anything in the fridge, man. No, dude, honestly, I've always been a beer drinker, but I am drinking Tito's on the rocks here lately, man. Straight up, a little bit of water, old man drink.
Nice. Nice and refreshing. And last question. As you know, this is the Rock Down South podcast. What is something that you love about the South?
Wow, this is a great question, man. I've never been asked that before. What do I love about the South? What's not to love about the South, man? Dude, it's great. It's so hard to say. Like, it's just a feeling. It's more like I just can't say one thing, man. I love the South. It's where I'm from. It's where I'm gonna die. Like I love this place. I love everything about the South, from gospel to rock. What the people that came from here, the people that come here. I mean, I like, dude. It just does something to you, man. It's a way of life, and I'm proud to be from the South, and I'm proud to be Southern. I got it tattooed on my arm, brother.
Hey, thank you so much, Daniel, for being a part of the podcast today.
Hey, man, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Where can people find and connect with you online? And what do you have in the works that people should know about?
And we're going to be releasing a song once a month for the next couple months. If you want to keep up with me, I'm on Daniel Lee Music on Instagram, and look up Daniel Lee Band on Facebook. I'm on TikTok, The SoMofo. And I'm on everything. And I got a website. It's danielleesomofo.com if you guys want to check it out.
Thank you so much for listening to the show. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Daniel was super fun to talk with, and you guys should definitely see him live as his shows are explosive. Simply love that guy. Make sure to check out Daniel Lee's new music video and single for Huckleberry, and keep a lookout for the new singles he plans on dropping in the coming months. Check out all our latest content at rockdownsouth.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter for all the latest updates. And as always, the views and opinions expressed by our guests on the podcast are theirs and don't necessarily reflect our own. I'm Mark, and you've been listening to the Rock Down South podcast. See y'all next time.